We don't very often talk about traveller history, do we? Let me tell you about the traveller camp at Norwood. Just a heads up, since we are talking about historical travellers, we are going to be using this word in this video. I'm aware that some populations of travellers consider it offensive, but it's so ubiquitous in the historical record, I am not imaginative enough to figure out a way of telling you about this stuff without it. The first reference we have to travellers in Norwood is in 1668, when a woman called Elizabeth Pepys goes there to get her fortune told. That's all we know about them, that they were there and they told fortunes. By the 18th century, it's turned into this big, semi-permanent camp that's occupied mostly during the summer. Probably the most famous person to live there is Margaret Finch, who is known as the Queen of the Gypsies. She's one of the very few historical travellers that we actually have a picture of. She sat in front of her tent, knees up to her chest, smoking a pipe, looking very contented. She supposedly lived to over 100 years old and is buried at St George's in Beckenham, and she passed her queenly title down to her niece. Being a traveller in this period is really dangerous because it's a crime. You can be arrested for the crime of vagrancy and you can be imprisoned, you might be forced into indentured servitude in Australia or America, you might have a hole burned through your ear, and you might even be hanged. For example, we know that in 1797, 10 police officers turn up at the Norwood camp and smash all the tents and arrest 30 people, including children. The camp at Norwood was cleared in 1808 when the land was privatised. In 1826, one writer said, "Shame on an improving age! Their green huts are levelled with the earth. The writer condemns people who assume that any crime committed in the area must be their fault, saying, 'The speckle-backed hen, the best breeder in the yard, laid no eggs.' A gypsy woman had been seen on the premises. The red cow gave but 2 pints of milk. No wonder the gypsies were encamped just below the meadow gate. And to this day, the area is known as Gypsy Hill. So next time you're going down Gypsy Hill, remember it's named that because of Margaret Finch and her fellow travellers.